time to call your lawyer.
Our lawyer in this case, attorney for the injured, Bruce L. Scheiner. We call this Ask the Lawyer, and we ask that you submit questions for possible future consideration. We'll see if your question gets answered today. We'll tell you how to submit a question for later shows. See if we can get you on next week. Somewhere along the line. Please remember what you are about to hear should not be considered specific advice in your specific legal situation. For that, you need to sit down and get a consultation with Bruce L. Scheiner or a legal professional to find out exactly what the details of your case might entail. And by the way, Bruce does offer free consultations. I'll tell you how to set one of those up in a moment as well. But please remember not to sign anything or do anything. Don't say anything. Don't blink to an insurance adjuster or anybody until you talk to a professional, and thus hold on to your rights as long as you possibly can. Let's find out about today's legal brain teaser and what Bruce thinks as we welcome Bruce L. Scheiner, attorney for the injured. Good morning, Bruce.
Good morning, Todd. How's this week treated you?
Pretty good, pretty busy, but I think we're all kind of getting busier and busier this time of year, so I guess you'd call that par for the course. What's going on in your world?
Just seeing lots of snowbirds coming down to visit.
Isn't it the truth, though? It takes a lot longer to get from point A to point B, and it takes a lot longer to get into your favorite restaurant, too. So, yeah, definitely feeling that effect. Well, we've got a question to throw at you again this week, and hopefully you'll be able to provide some answers that will give them a sense of direction, if nothing else. And I think that's one of the most important things that comes out of our conversations is pointing people in the right direction. So if you're ready, we can start to do that.
I am ready.
Okay, Bruce, here's the question. In June of 2014, my husband, who is a construction worker, was paralyzed from the neck down due to a work-related injury. My husband was working on a scaffolding at a high-rise condo project when a transformer that he had been told by his supervisor was de-energized electrocuted him. The shock force burned 10% of his body and knocked him off the scaffolding. He landed on concrete, snapping his spine. As a result of the accident, my husband is a quadriplegic, permanently paralyzed from the neck down. He can no longer work and will require 24-hour attendant care for the rest of his life. Just to let you know, the latest, the construction company that he works for is refusing to pay lost wages and any future treatment and care. I can't afford to do this alone. Please help. And I just can't even begin to imagine how alone this person must feel.
I can't believe it either, and I'm completely at a loss because if this person's working on a construction project, at the least they should be receiving workers' compensation benefits.
That's what we wondered, too.
And workers' compensation benefits are so important for this person because the work comp carrier has to pay for around-the-clock care and his, medical costs and prescription costs and, just the whole ball of wax. And because he's so badly injured, he's entitled to catastrophic benefits. So I don't know what the problem is or why this is happening, but as I said, at the least is entitled to workers' compensation benefits.
Now, what we were wondering is, kind of along those same lines, is it possible to get retroactive benefits from what he should have been paid since June of 2014?
Yes, it is the answer. He could be any benefits that he wasn't paid that he should have been paid, he's entitled to recover.
Okay.
And there's a second tier to look at, which is what caused the electrocution.
Yes. He was told by his supervisor it was de-energized. Apparently it wasn't.
Well, was it not de-energized, or did someone wrongfully or mistakenly turn it on, or, exactly
I see.
What happened, and there may be a cause of action against someone who wrongfully allowed the electricity to be on.
Now, would that be a cause of action against the person, like a supervisor, or against the company that they work for?
It's hard to tell today because the workers' compensation law is very limiting in who you could sue as far as on a construction project. So it's important to investigate and determine who did it and then see if they fit within the category of a person of a person or company that's immune from suit under workers' compensation or is allowed to be sued.
That is so complicated to just listen to. I can't imagine having to deal with that if I had to deal with it on my own, which is what this person is obviously saying. They feel very alone in their pursuit of justice. So definitely talk to a professional.
That's excellent advice.
All right, Bruce. Well, we hope a better future here and the necessary permanent care. Make this victim as comfortable as he can be, and his family as well. And maybe it all begins with this little conversation you and I have had. So on behalf of our writer and the family, I want to thank you for your advice.
Oh, it's my pleasure, Todd. I look forward to speaking to you next week.
Us too. Thank you very much, Bruce. And everybody, let's give it up for Bruce L. Scheiner, attorney for the injured, with advice for you, too, in your legal situation. You know, if you have a question for Bruce that you would feel more comfortable talking face-to-face, he does offer free consultations at his Port Charlotte office. It's really easy to remember the phone number to call and set up that appointment, too. 941-743-7777. Just hit 743 and keep hitting those sevens until somebody picks up and say, I have a question for Bruce. Can I come in and talk? They'll take it from there. It's important that before you sign anything or say anything, you consult with a professional. Don't let anyone take away your rights. Find out how to protect yourself and your interests by calling today at 743-777-7777. And tell them that Todd Matthews sent you from Kicks Country. And by the way, if you'd like to submit a question for consideration on a future program, we'd love to hear from you. Obviously, we keep everything confidential. And we'll do the same for you. Go to the website and look for Bruce L. Scheiner at kickscountry929.com.